Good morning. Actually, I don't know what time you're watching this video, but good day to you. Today is a day that I go to check with my oncologist. My PET scan that I was supposed to have before this visit on the 13th was not approved by my insurance company yet. They're still looking at it, and they've been dragging their feet for like 3 weeks now. My colonoscopy that I was supposed to have yesterday didn't happen because my body didn't want to cooperate. I didn't feel I had gotten to the place where it would have been a good encounter. So that's getting rescheduled, and I'm running out of these things, which is important. These are the testing strips for my Keto Mojo that tells me where I am in ketosis, and this morning's number was a 1.2 on the GKI scale. That is like excellent. So I'm doing well. I have a little bit of discussion going on Twitter with a couple of great people about the amount of proteins that you can have in your system before they turn into glyconeogenesis, which means the liver starts producing glucose out of those proteins. And will that glucose go to the cancer cells, or will it just feed your red blood cells and other cells that cannot use ketones? So it's a learning process, and I don't know. It should be of interest to you if you have any sort of cancer or tumor, because it's something that is important to keep an eye on. I think, I'm not totally sure because I haven't gotten an answer on, is if you exceed your protein number that has been determined for you by a nutritionist, or the chronometer, and putting your micronutrients in there can also come up with a number. Mine's 49 grams, and a lot of people are saying, Dave, at 49 grams you're gonna turn into a skeleton, and I know I've already lost a lot of weight, and mainly with the keto diet, but you don't want to get down to a point where once chemotherapy starts, as one of the Twitter friends, Tammy, is telling me. She says, because chemo is going to sock it to you also, and if you start losing weight there, then it's not fun. And I've talked about fasting before fasting before chemo, and how important that is. And I want to do a video just on that and tell you the benefits of that. But this video right now, what I want to talk to you about is this visit to the oncologist. I'm not sure what he's going to tell me because he has like no additional information that has come in. Possibly going to start me on some sort of chemotherapy. If he does, I want to have enough time to start, because I'm not in fasting right now. I want to have enough time to start this 72-hour fast that everybody talks about. The reason behind the 72-hour fast is because it resets your body, resets your immune system, and it really has been beneficial, according to, just Google it, 72-hour fasting before chemo, and just everybody that has responded on any kind of forum or any kind of platform has said that it's super beneficial to do the fast. So I'm going to do that, and I want to get that done. I'm not going to start if he says tomorrow or something, be there. I'm not going to show up. So another thing I want to do, and I'm not sure if this is something, it's kind of controversial right now, is I got my paperwork filled out to do a vaccine. The Pfizer vaccine is available at Walgreens, which is a local pharmacy here. It's a pharmacy chain in the United States, but it's one of our big pharmacies, and they have walk-ins available. Just show up and they can help you out. So gonna ask the oncologist if I can do that. I think it's a good thing, Anyway, there's so much controversy and thought into that I won't get into it on this video. But today maybe is the first day that they're going to use this port that I've got installed. And it looks a little red to me. It looks like It's, maybe because it's so new, I'm not sure. I'm going to have them, take a look at it too. But we'll see. And I think this is the first time it's going to get used because they always draw blood at this place. So anyway, got to get going. Good to talk to you guys. And I will, this is going to be one of those videos that's going to follow me through the day. So let's go. There is one stipulation that they do have on this paperwork for Walgreens, and that is they ask if you have cancer. So, of course, I had to answer that, right? So I don't know if that's a game changer or game stopper, or however you say it. We shall see. Yeah, I don't know. A part of my family says it's great, My other part of my family says shouldn't get it done. They're sort of not really conspiracy theorists. But I can't say that. I think my ex is. She believes that the deep state has something to do with the vaccine, and you should not be getting it because we don't know what dangers are in there. So it's new, hasn't been tested too much. But for me, I'm thinking, I've discussed this with other people too, that if it's something that will help me as far as my immune system with this, with having cancer, then I think it's a good thing, right? Because anything you can arm yourself with, like armory, to prevent from getting some kind of outside something that's going to compromise your system, I think is good. But there are people that say also, a lot of people on my Twitter family, that says that when you are in a ketosis state, you are protected from stuff like that. They cite that nobody they know, and even people they don't know, have suffered from COVID-19 when they're in ketosis. It's not something that will affect you because your immune system is good, and other systems in your body is good. Your blood is good. Everything's running optimal, pretty much. So, still, I don't know. And the whole, breaker on this thing, as I said before, could be my oncologist saying that's just a stupid idea in my state to introduce a vaccine. I feel I'm strong enough for it. And especially getting it before chemotherapy. Tammy, which is the person on Twitter, was mentioning that she's seen people go through chemotherapy, and it's like something that just like knocks you down pretty ragged. To me, I don't feel that she's done research on the fasting with chemotherapy, because that seems to mitigate a lot of these things people say about chemotherapy, as far as it tearing you up. There are stories of people that have gone from having chemo on a certain day and that same day going into work, and working because they didn't feel that bad. And also, one thing that fasting does is it helps the chemotherapy actually do its job better. So I like that part about it too. But we'll see. I want to be... Tammy's concern for me is that if right now I'm doing 49 grams of protein, my body's not really gaining weight, my muscles are kind of like staying in the same shape they are, do I need to, and this is common thinking, do I need to like bulk up before I start the process? So it's a valid concern. So that's where I'm at. I'm headed to the clinic right now. My appointment's actually at 9:30, but they told me to get there at 9:15, and like a good boy, I'm gonna try to do that. Teeny bit concerned about the port that I just got in. I know they still have to run a needle through a few layers of skin to get to it. They have nerves in that skin, I hope. I don't know. So I'm gonna feel that. My son, who's already got the Pfizer vaccine, says the needle's very small. Dad, don't worry. You know how guys, how I am with needles, right? So I got that going on this morning. The only thing I was feeling, what I was gonna say about the port is that, like, when I was showing it to you and I was looking in the mirror this morning and I was taking my shower, I thought, man, it kind of looks red around that thing. It's not as healthy looking as it could be. And then the first thought that came into my mind was, well, because it's so new, that's why you have that. So I'll take that. But that may not be the case. These guys, especially my oncologist, Dr. Santiago, has seen millions of ports, and he'll probably know what kind of advice to give me if we need to have the surgeon take a look at it and say, it looks red. That might mean some sort of infection happening underneath there or starting. It feels slightly irritated. One thing, your seatbelt kind of rides on it, which is not fun. I sound like a whining baby this morning, don't I? But I don't mean to be. Anyway, guys, let's continue the day. Hope you're having a good one. And I can't do the camera. I wish we'd do like a hidden camera, right, inside the clinic. But right after I get done there, we'll know whether or not I can do the vaccine. I'll have that information, and this is going to be a fun day. So let's go for it. Okay, drove to the wrong building, so they look exactly the same. It's building across the street here. I'm in the waiting room. I'm the only one here, which is good. They come through that door and they call your name. They got my name tag on already, so I'm all set. I think the first thing they do is draw blood, so we'll see. I'm okay. Deep breaths, right? Right, I'm done at the Florida cancer specialist here. Not sure if I still have to wear this. Whoa! I went in and used my port for the very first time to do my blood work. And with Nurse Marjorie, it was a different experience because I've never had that done before, right? But they put, if you've never had a port put in, if you have one, or going to be getting one for your chemotherapy, and it just works for everything, chemotherapy, your blood work, everything they have to poke a hole in you for, almost. They have this numbing agent that they spray on the skin so it doesn't, so you don't feel it as much. So that was a bonus. And then, she gets this prep stuff out because in her mind, she's like getting me ready for chemotherapy because it was on my chart to do today. And so she hooks me up after she gets the blood vials that she needed, and I'm hooked up for chemotherapy now, and I'm going, I don't want to do this without my 72-hour fast that I've been talking to you guys about, right? So she said, well, talk to Dr. Santiago and see what happens. And I said, but can I refuse it? And she goes, of course, you're not required to do anything. We just suggest this is the treatment you should be getting. And if you want to reschedule it, that's up to you. So very nice about it. She's a very nice nurse. Name's Marjorie. And man, just had a good experience here. Dr. Santiago came in. I was in the waiting room, the little wait, his little, where a doctor would meet the patient, those kind of little rooms with the computer and all the little utensils they have around. Of course, the bed with the paper on it, right? And he comes in and, mentions can't get the PET scan done. He said, let's try an MRI. So they're trying to get an MRI done. And I told him, I said, well, right off, I know maybe they want me for chemotherapy today. He says, no, that's not the case. He says, we got approval from the insurance company for chemotherapy, and that's why it was on your chart. And that's why Marjorie put the port in, because she saw chemotherapy and thought, but I wasn't going to get it anyway today. So that was a good thing. And I told him about my research in fasting. And this doctor is just so good and so kind to want to work with me that it's catching me off guard sometimes. He was just really nice, and saying, you know what? Let's do, if you want to do your fasting, you can start this week sometime, and then we'll do the chemo on Tuesday. How's that? And I said, man, that's perfect, So I can eat today. I can eat probably tomorrow too, and then I can start, I'm on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I can start anytime I want to with the fasting. On Monday, I go to see Dr. Kim up in Tampa. I'm not sure if I mentioned it to you guys or not, but on my initial visit with this oncologist, Dr. Santiago, he was kind enough in his whatever to say, you know what, maybe let's get a second opinion on what's going on in your body. And I'm really great friends with this Dr. Kim up in Tampa at the Moffitt Cancer Center. And I did some research on this guy, Dr. Google here, me. And this guy is well known in this field, of gastroenterology. So, I'm really looking forward to hearing from him and, what may or may not happen. I'm ready for all that. It's exciting. So, everything's set up except for the MRI. The quickest date they could get is in June, which is, they wanted to get it before the 24th of May now, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen unless somebody cancels, and then they call me in. And an MRI, I'm not sure if you've ever had one, but don't be afraid of it. The machine does make a lot of noise. They do use, if required, they use contrasting. I think it's some kind of iodine or something that goes into you, and if you have a port, it's going to go in there. And it's going to show them pretty good pictures, I think, come out of this thing. He wants pictures of my liver, so we're going to see that. And also, I did mention to him about the abdomen pains I've been having a little bit, but he wants to see pictures on that too, and kind of thinks that it's maybe related to, could be related to the cancer, could be related to, just trying to get all cleaned out for the colonoscopy, which didn't happen. So, it's maybe that. I don't know. I know in any case that those were some significant pains and not normal. So, wanted to look into that. The other thing is, I asked Nurse Marjorie if it was okay to go and get my vaccine, and she says he is advising all of his patients to get the vaccine, so you don't really need to ask him that, because I forgot the question. And I said, oh, Marjorie can, because she was undoing the stuff from my port, taking the needle out. And I asked her, I said, I need to ask him another question if it's okay to do the vaccine. She said, oh, he's advising everyone, so you don't need to ask him, I already know the answer. So I'm going to go, I think, go get that done now at Walgreens if there's not a line. If there is, I'll go in tomorrow morning. That's the plan for now. So let's go see what's going on at Walgreens. Here, I guess the next question will be if they have a long line or what. So my vaccine is done. It was pretty painless. I was like expecting something more painful, you know, 8 needles. But the needle is freaking sharp. You can feel the stuff going in. My oncologist supports all his patients getting them, so got the first shot. I want Pfizer because it has the most effective dose against COVID, so got that. I go back on June 8th, I think, for the second dose. So there you go, got that first part done. And now I'm hungry. I'm gonna cook some liver. We're here in the Dave Jackson kitchen of marvels. Yes, and food. I have done the beef liver in sous vide for 145 degrees for 12 minutes. Right now it's just sitting there resting along with some other choice meats that I have in there. Let me show you how it came out. I sauteed this in butter, and it's got little pieces of garlic on it, just scrumptious. Now, there was a lot more there. The reason I stopped eating, even though Mama said, finish everything on your plate. Mama, I was full, okay? And you don't have to overdo it. This is sitting on top of my sous vide, which will keep it warm till later when I feel like eating a little more. And I got some other meats in there. Right now, I'm just happy and full and just delighted. Oh, let me show you what's going on in the world of sprouting. You know, that I've talked about my sprouting. Yeah. Here we have 3 jars of sprouting. This one I started just last night. As you can see, the little seeds are just coming out of their husks. This one here is for today. Almost done. This one was from yesterday, and we didn't really get because I was on a fast. Rachel ate some out of it. I did put water in it and am going to move it out to the end of the table because the sunlight here in a little bit will be coming through there. And maybe it'll grow a little bit more, even though, as you guys may know, I believe that the best way to get the sulforaphane is when they are just a couple, like 3 or 4 days old, like this one here. This one is a little past, but I mean, not going to toss it. Still good stuff. And got a couple more up here on the countertop. This one is on day 2. This one is on day 3. You can see they just coming out there. Look at that. It's kind of cool. Even on day 2, they start sprouting. So it's an exciting thing to do. I have more sprouting materials that I ordered day before yesterday. Just 2 pounds of seeds, of broccoli seeds, and broccoli sprouts. Ooh, it's windy out here. And some lovely new jars that should help us be able to sprout more, because we found that when Rachel and I are both eating the sprouts, there's not really enough when you're doing a mason jar. So I got the half-gallon jars from iherb.com. You want to check them out. The jars, these huge half-gallon jars, along with the sprouting top, and the top to wash with the stainless steel screen in it. They're only $6. So I ordered like 4 of them because we already have one here. So that'll be 5. We can cycle through 5 days. That'll be perfect. Because you don't need more than that, because on your 5th day you better be eating them, right? So that you can start again on the next one. But I'm going to do a whole video on the whole process because I think it's something you should be doing all the time. And it's very beneficial for you that may have tumors or cancer. Read up on it. It's something worth Googling about and kind of getting current information. Like I said, when I go on Google, don't try to go for those sites that have been like it's rehashed information full of ads and clicking things you got to click on and all that, or don't click on because it's just ads. But try to find like a documentation from a government publication maybe, or possibly some group that's not conventional cancer treatment, because it'll be a little biased in the way that they talk about it, because they will say, yeah, there may be some benefit. We all know that there's proof now that this thing really does benefit you as a cancer patient. So I advise you to get onto that. What a day, huh? And then we still haven't gone to the beach yet today to do some relaxing. I am working on some projects, so I got to go do that right now. And, got to keep the day busy, all right? So hope you're doing well. Everything went great today. Hope to see you on the next video. I hope that you subscribe and then click the little bell so you know when these videos drop. And also, thanks for commenting. A lot of you are commenting now on the videos, and I really appreciate that. I come back with the information that I have. A lot of you are DMing me as well, and I got like a group of people. Might start my own Telegram group, as I talked about before, because we just have so much fun DMing on Twitter, that it's crazy. And it's very restricted on there. I mean, you can't go, it's like the format's only like this big, and you can't, send anything too big. And but it is what it is. So we're using it for now. All right. Take care. Love you all. Thanks for the support.